Bass Fox. Welcome to today's video. By the way, if you like this kind of content, bass content, reviews, comparisons, tutorials, compression, sound design, recording techniques, everything bass related, please go ahead and hit like and subscribe and maybe even join the channel. Anyway, let's talk about these great G&L basses. This video is a little bit bittersweet because G&L went bankrupt. G&L no longer exists. So this might be a new series called Dead Brands. But anyway, let me tell you a little bit of my history with G&L. So about 15 years ago, I moved to Mexico from Brazil. I'm a Brazilian. I did go to music school in the States, which is why I speak English. But I went back to Brazil for 10 years. I worked as a producer, engineer, and multi-instrumentalist, bass player for numerous studios and bands over there. And then I fell in love with a lady here in Mexico and decided to move here. And it didn't make sense to pay for a moving company to bring all of my stuff because instruments are really expensive in Brazil and they're way cheaper in Mexico. So I could sell my stuff in Brazil for more than it would cost me to replace it here. So that made more sense. I sold all of my basses, all of my gear, all of my instruments in Brazil. And when I got to Mexico, the first bass gig I got, I needed to buy a bass. And I was already aware of the G&L brand. I knew of the reputation. I knew it was Leo Fender's last opus. I knew they were really high quality basses. And I went to a street fair here in Mexico City in a place called Tasqueña, where people informally sell their used instruments. You can buy and sell instruments on the street. Kind of a dream, actually, to find a place like that. I got lots of cool things at Tasqueña. But one of them was I was walking around looking for a bass that I could afford with the money that I'd sold my stuff for in Brazil. And I saw this guy. I saw this and it was cheap. It was like $300 or something. It is the Tribute series L2000, which means it's made in Indonesia, but quality control and electronics are all American, the same that goes in their American-made instruments, right? So I knew this was a high-quality instrument. The price was unbelievable, and I just picked it up. I just bought it. And for about 7 years of my time here in Mexico City, it was my only bass. It absolutely cut it for all my gigs. I played in a couple of bands, blues bands, funk bands, and also I recorded and produced using this bass. It's very versatile bass, sounds great slap, sounds great fingerstyle. I probably didn't need to buy any more basses, but at some point I did get a P bass. I felt like I needed a P bass, and eventually my hyper focus moved back to the bass from synthesizers and drums. And as I started making a little more money, I started collecting basses, and now I have like 24 bass guitars. But this was number one and the only one for many years, and it's a great bass. It's got some differences compared to this one. This is the CLF Research L1000, made in the USA, made in Fullerton, California, right? And it's from 2023, whereas this one is from 2008. Based on the serial number, so it's quite a bit older. But why did I get this one? Well, when I found out that G&L was closing, I immediately felt the pain of knowing that I would never be able to find a US-made G&L anymore because they weren't going to make them. They're probably going to go super expensive in the used market because they're going to become collectibles. That's what I thought. And then I started seeing ads for this L1000 bass on the internet with a 30% discount. The Mexican dealer was cutting the prices on the G&L instruments to liquidate them, to sell them quickly. I'm guessing probably because these instruments are now orphan as far as having a parent company that would be responsible for returns or repairs or warranty. So they decided to just get rid of them and mark them way down. And I was like, oh my God, should I get that? L1000 looks beautiful. So I went to the store. My idea was actually to try it out just to see that it's just like so many other basses that I have. I already have 2 jazz basses, a P bass, a Stingray. I have this guy over here. I thought that I was just going to be dissuaded from buying it after trying it, but the opposite happened. I fell absolutely in love with the bass. I consider it to be my best bass. It's not my newest bass, it's not my most expensive bass, but if I had to rank my basses, number one is my L1000. It just sounds unbelievable, feels incredible. The fit and finish, the workmanship, the quality control, everything on it is top notch. This guy isn't too far behind. It's actually an amazing bass as well, great value. And I got curious to compare them, because I saw some people saying, well, you can get the L1000 sound out of a L2000 because it's the same neck pickup. So if you just isolate the neck pickup, it should sound about the same. And where I saw some other people say the opposite, so I decided to compare them myself, even though it's kind of pointless because you can't get them new anymore. But it's just a curiosity of mine. Maybe you have this curiosity as well, and it's an excuse to just play bass on screen for you guys. So anyway, this is the L2000 Tribute series made in Indonesia in 2008. It has a maple neck and a Brazilian rosewood fingerboard. I don't know what the body wood is. This guy, on the other hand, has a maple neck and fingerboard, and the body is swamp ash. It's a beautiful piece of swamp ash. And it's a single pickup passive bass, whereas this one is a dual pickup active bass. However, I don't like to use it in active. The active gives it a bit of a boost, and you have another mode which gives it a treble boost. But honestly, I'm just going to leave it in passive, so we're going to compare them as both passive instruments right now. The EQ on it works anyway because it's cut only, both bass and treble. The L1000 Wonkay bass also has passive bass and treble controls, but there's a couple key differences here. So first of all, this one obviously has two pickups. So if I put it in the middle here, you get a sound that you can't get out of the Wonkay. By the way, we're using the dark glass anagram today to record with. It's also acting as my tuner. I'm just using a SWR amplifier head sim and a compressor. That's all I'm using. So it's pretty much the sound of the bass, but a little bit more real world because we are using an amp simulation, right? So anyway, this is with both pickups, and also you have series and parallel here. So it's up series. So this is the series sound with both pickups on, EQ all the way up, volume all the way up. By the way, I just swapped the strings on both instruments on the same day with the same exact strings. These are Elixir strings, right? So just so you know, they're set up very similarly and they have the exact same strings on. And they're also all both going through the same setup on the anagram. So the difference you hear would definitely be the bass, right? Nothing else is changing. And this is in, like I said, series. Now we're going to try parallel. So the middle switch goes down and now we have parallel. Sounds a little brighter, doesn't it? Let's try again the difference. So this is in series. And here's in parallel. Okay, now let's go to the bridge pickup, right? More nasal sounding, right? It's reminiscent of a Stingray. It is, after all, designed by Leo Fender with a humbucker near the bridge. And this is the series and parallel. Definitely different tones, different sounds there. You can pull down the tone here, make it a little darker sounding, and it's Joe Dart type sound, fingerstyle funk. I wouldn't use this for slapping. I would definitely go to either both pickups. Right? Maybe even better in parallel. Or even the neck pickup, which is more like a P-bass type sound. Right? Series. And parallel. Series. I think this is my favorite sound, which is closer to the sound of the L1000. Now let's swap them out. Okay, so this is in series, neck pickup, everything open. Now hold that sound in your mind for a second. The brunette, the blonde, it's lighter. It's quite a bit lighter. This one has just the volume and the two passive tone controls and one single switch, but it's different switch. It gives you parallel on top, right? Which is a little bit reminiscent of the Stingray as well. Right? And then you have the middle position here, which you don't have on the other bass. It's single coil, which is supposed to be more reminiscent of a P bass. So this is so this one only uses one side of the humbucker. It gives you a single coil sound. Surprisingly, no hum. That's what it sounds like. Lovely sound, right? However, the secret trick with this bass is the OMG mode, they call it, right? Which is all the way down, this 3-position toggle. So you have parallel here, the Stingray kind of sound. You have single coil here, the P-bass type sound. And then you have OMG, which is in series, but they add a capacitor in there to boost the low end. Or maybe what it's doing is actually cutting the highs, but whatever the effect is, it sounds bassier, it sounds punchier, and that's what it sounds like. And this OMG mode is where you get the nickname Wonkay bass, because I guess that's like an onomatopoeia for how it sounds. It's Wonkay, right? This is amazing. It's the best bass. Best feeling neck. No, it doesn't go auto-tune often. Other basses require truss rod adjustments with temperature changes here way more than this one. I think it's got some graphite reinforcement bars in there to make the neck so stiff. Passive, no need for batteries, noiseless because it's a humbucker. This bass boost mode, the OMG mode, sounds amazing. Really sad that they're not going to be making these anymore. If you get your hands on new old stock of this bass, if your local store still has them, go get it if you can. I think here in Mexico City, they still have the twin brother of this bass. I bought one of two that they had available. Might get the other one and like time capsule it, you know, just leave it pristine and mint for in 20 years when this one is old. No, I'm not going to do that. It's too much money to spend on the bass you're not going to play, and I already have one. So anyway, let's do a quick comparison now between what they both have in common, which is the parallel mode, neck pickup only, right? So that's what this one sounds like. So do you hear a clear difference? I do. What do you think accounts for the difference? If the electronics are all the same, if the pickup is supposed to be the same, MFD I think it's called, in the same position, same company, same designer, same. Would it be the body wood? Maybe the body wood. Would it be the fingerboard wood? Would it be maybe a difference in the wiring of the pickup from the different eras, from the different location? What do you think makes these basses sound different, right? Now, the unfair comparison now is to use the Wonkay mode, right? And compare it to this guy that doesn't have a Wonkay mode. So cool. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please, again, like, subscribe, comment below, share the video, maybe join the channel, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Feel the vibration.